And we're back once again only on It Is Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol only on It Is the Last Call YouTube channel now. And now join me on the line, this man here. Well, he is going to be fighting once again. It's going to be him versus Caspel. It'll be the first April of a new Showtime deal where we're excited because he has his own now contract. We're excited about that as well. I give you all the way from America Top Team now, somewhere either in Florida or Connecticut. I give you it's A1 himself. I give you it's Yornell Lugo. So congratulations, new contract. You're all set. You're now part of Bellator. How much of a relief is that now having stability for a change?
Yeah, well, before I answer that, good question. I'm actually with Combat Club. I haven't been America Top Team for years, man. I don't know how to update the Tapology. Well, yeah, I'm not with them. I'm with Combat Club. But yeah, it's definitely a huge relief to finally be signed, man. Like all the hard work that we've been putting in for years. You remember from back when I had my first fight in Bellator, that was a big goal of mine back then to get signed to Bellator. And now that I'm finally here, it's a huge relief. But now that I'm here and now that I am signed, I gotta show these guys that it was a good decision on their part to sign me, you know?
Take us to the moment when you actually got the word, the contract signed, that it's official that you're now member Bellator, because you and I have gone back, you've gone through this a long time. I mean, I've seen you fight in Bellator, and each fight's like, okay, we're just one more fight away from a deal, one more fight away from a deal. How nice was it when you got that pen on paper? It's like, okay, it's official. No more one more fight. It's now, yes, this is now official. The money's guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly what you just said. Just like that. Exactly. Like finally, it took so long. And even after I fought my second fight, you know how, like, I guess, in the business world, things move slowly, like it's not like the moment I fought, they hit me up and were like, oh, we're ready to sign you. Like I knew before I fought, if I did a good job, we're going to get signed. But after that, I didn't hear anything for like 3 weeks. And I'm like, damn, like, did they not like that performance? Like worried, like, dang, maybe they're not going to sign me. But when I found out I was going to get signed, man, I was so happy and so relieved, to finally be able to get the checks that I need and also to just be established and finally make it to the big leagues. For me, it was a big deal, man. A big, heavy load off my back. I've been training since I was 14 years old, and I'm 25 now. So to finally get signed at 25 years old is a long time coming. Like it wasn't a quick thing. It took a while. So, and good timing.
We're definitely going to go back to this in a bit. Take us down to your upcoming fights. You, Caspel. It's Bellator 256, Machida versus Bader. Break it down for us here. What makes Caspel dangerous? Like when you see him on tape, what makes him a good fighter compared to, let's say, your last 3 or 4 guys you faced?
Well, for one, I would say I think what's good about Caspel is that he likes to fight. Like he's not like, I don't find him to be like amazing anywhere, like stand up, grappling, wrestling, but he likes to fight. Some people can be real good at like can be real technical standing up or real technical on the ground, but when you hit them, they don't want to be there anymore. There's a lot of fighters like that, so they don't have that heart and that grit and that determination. That's one thing that Caspel does have. Caspel, you could tell he likes to fight, and he's gotten where he's gotten so far because he has that, and a lot of people lack that.
How much do you take away from his loss? Because on one hand, he got beat his last fight. On the other hand, Raufeon Stots is a pure All-American wrestler. He's one of those guys who can take you down anytime he wants. So do you learn anything from that fight, or is it one of those things where it's like, okay, he lost to this guy, but I'm a whole different fighter than Raufeon?
Yeah, exactly. Like Raufeon Stots is a great fighter. Well-rounded, real wrestler heavy base type of guy, but composed. That's the one thing about him, very composed. And that's what gave what's his face, Caspel, a little bit of trouble. But I'm a different fighter than Raufeon Stots. I bring different things to the table. I can wrestle. I can grapple. I think my stand-up is just, it's different. My style is just different. I'm just a different animal in there. So I expect to put on a different type of clinic.
Let's talk about styles, you said. I've talked with Caspel in the past. I know, but talked to you in the past. Both you guys like to stay at range. You prefer to not get gummed up. You don't like to come in and make a mistake. You would rather use your reach, use your height, use distance. How do you force a guy like the other opponent's been make the first mistake? How do you force Caspel to be the aggressor when he's not that. He likes to be a guy who's more of a counter fighter.
All right, so that's one thing. Like for me, as a fighter, I don't like to be put in a box. Like I don't have to just fight being long. I'll do whatever it takes to win. I don't care if that's getting in the pocket, if that's staying outside long, if I have to grapple, if I have to box, clinch, I'll do whatever it takes to win. So like I will stand and stay long, just depends on who I'm fighting, or it depends on what adjustments I have to make in the fight. If you watch my last fight, I was very close. I tried to wrestle a lot. And then from there, I decided to do some stand-up. So I'm not just a guy who wants to stay on the outside. So if I go out there and staying on the outside is a good option for me when I fight Casbell, I'll do that. But if there's something else that I need to do, like getting inside or whatever it takes to win, I'm going to do it. Like I'm not a one-trick pony. I'll do whatever it takes to win. I make adjustments.
For a guy like this, do you spar with anybody different, Ben, or do you just spar with your usual partners? I mean, is there any? You said he's a guy who's good everywhere, not great. Do you then spar with certain guys then to get used to somebody who he knows enough not to get caught? He's not going to get caught in something where you're setting up for this and he falls into it, and all of a sudden you get a guillotine. I mean, how do you fight a guy who doesn't make mistakes?
Yeah, I mean, for this one, I definitely brought in. I'm sparring taller guys, some southpaws, different things like that. Awkward guys, he has a little bit of a funky style, so I'm definitely sparring more funky type of styles of fighters. I'm not gonna switch up my style. I stay sharp, I stay smooth, because for me, skills pay the bills. But yeah, definitely sparring awkward and southpaw like guys. He's a guy that it seems to me like he likes to capitalize when people make mistakes. Like if you look at his stoppages, he'll catch you on some random shit. Like he'll do a spinning back fist, a check hook out of nowhere, catch you in a choke out of nowhere. So if you make a mistake against him, he could put you away. So this is somebody that I got to stay real sharp and stay on my P's and Q's for 15 minutes with, so I don't get caught with anything stupid.
We're going to go, as this fight is going on, as we're talking about this here, it's been a long year for you guys. When I say you guys, I mean every MMA fighter who, since let's say last April, May, decide, all right, you know what, screw COVID, we got to go work. We got to start doing this here. We got to get back into the sport. We got to make money. How tough has it been for you, just you yourself, when you have a family, you have a young kid, you're trying to fight, you're trying to put money on the table, you're doing all this here, and yet you're trying not to get COVID, because if you get sick, you lose out on a fight. For somebody like yourself, as you said, it's not like you're making big money. So how mentally draining was it this past year? Just literally, making sure, okay, I don't get sick, I don't bring this home to the kids, but I don't get sick, so I don't miss out on fights.
For me, it wasn't really mentally draining. I don't really worry about things like that. Like I just trust God. I leave it up to God. Whatever is supposed to happen is gonna happen, and I just don't fall into the hype. All this craziness about Corona, this and that. Like I don't really buy into it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't really buy into it for the most part.
Was it? Well, I know this part here. There were a lot of things that got shut down. Was there anything that you really missed doing because of all this? Like whether it's going to breakfast with friends, whether it's going out to a ballpark, a movie theater. Was there anything that you missed doing this past year that you went, I took it for granted, and now I really miss it. I'm so used to doing it. I enjoyed it so much.
Well, the movie theater, definitely. I love going to the movie theaters, and it hasn't I haven't been back. I think they are open now. I'm not sure, but like half capacity probably. But I haven't been able to go to the movie theaters in a long time. And now the movies don't even come out exclusively in the movie theaters anymore, so it makes it hard to even want to go. But one of the big things for me is wearing masks every time you go everywhere. Like I can't stand that. You have to wear a mask to go inside stores and all that. Like to me, it's so annoying. So I think that little detail right there about coronavirus is sickening.
Like I can imagine that being even tougher, because you go from Florida where you train, it's very more lax. They are, say, more casual about the mask. Then you go back to New England where your family is, and that's hardcore mask. You got to wear masks everywhere, whether it's the grocery store, whether it's the restaurant, whether you're even going to a gym. I mean, that must have driven you crazy coming back home. Like, oh my god, I got to put on this little thing that just literally pinches my face and I can't breathe.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's already annoying over here. So imagine up north. And then when we go to fight, the whole lockdown process of the seven. I mean, it's smooth. Bellator runs it really nicely and professionally, but still, like it's not as just not being able to have your family come to the fights, not being able to have your friends come to the fights, and the vibes are just different, man. I can't wait till this is done, so we don't have to like do this bubble thing anymore.
Let's talk. I want to talk about the bubble quickly here because a lot of fighters have different mixed views on it. Some hate it, some love it. Some point out that it helps them fight better because you can now hear their corner. You're no longer, strained to hear. What's it like for you now when, as you said, you don't your family's not there, nobody's there to cheer you on, but at the same time, you can literally now hear your corner shout instructions, give you advice, look out for things, and you can go, oh, this is happening here. I know what's going to happen. This guy's going to do this. So I'm going to do this now because my corner is literally that third eye and looking after everything.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a double-edged sword at the same time because if you can hear your corner so sharply, then they can hear your corner just as sharply as well. Everything that their corner tells them, I can hear it as well. So it's pros and cons, double-edged sword there. I like having a crowd because I think it's fun when your friends get to go and you get to hear the energy of the crowd. But it doesn't make a difference in the actual fight itself. It doesn't make any difference. The same thing is going to happen, in my opinion. But I prefer a crowd, and I don't know about like the whole bubble thing. I like to be able to come and go and move around as I please. So I'm gonna be happy when everything does go back to normal. Because remember, I got signed during this. So my second fight in Bellator, and now my third fight. So most of my experience fighting for Bellator now is going to be during the bubble. So after that, I get to experience the big crowds that comes with Bellator. That's going to be fun.
It all comes down, as you mentioned before, Bellator 256. It's Cass Bell. It's quickly become a stacked division. You get Patricky Mix, you got Juan Archuleta, you got Sergio Pettis, Rafion Stas, you got even you guys like yourself, Gallagher, Cass Bell. 2 wins, and you're off to the races. A loss, and all of a sudden it's going to be a little bit tougher here. How big is it in this fight, as you said, to literally fight your fight? Because not think about the next fight out there, not looking ahead and go, if I win 2 more fights, I can get Gallagher, I can get Pettis, I can get this. How big is it just focusing on Cass Bell and go, okay, I gotta get through this guy first. There's nothing else.
Yeah. For me, that's how I always am. Like, this is the most important fight, period. There's nothing else that's more important than me winning this fight right now. Because remember, you're only 1 loss away from 2 losses in a row. Who knows how many losses before you get cut? They say losing is not a big deal, but this job is not promised. It's a privilege to be able to be signed and to be with a big organization. How many people do you see lose and get cut and kicked out the organization, kicked out of Bellator, kicked out of UFC, or whatever the organization is? So for me, it means everything to win, man. I'm going to go out there and I put my soul into it. Like, you're going to have to really kill me. Like, you have to really kill me to beat me.
Well, very you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I give you all the way from Combat Club, Jacksonville, Florida. I give you it's Yordan Lugo. Yordan, before I let you go, where can the fans check you out? Where's the Twitter page, Instagram, the website? Where can fans and who are the sponsors going to be for this fight coming up?
Well, first of all, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at A1 Lugo, AUNO Lugo. That's A1 Lugo, but in Spanish. And we're trying to work on some cryptocurrency type sponsors. I don't know if I'm going to be the first to do it, but if I'm going to be the first, then that's going to be dope, man. I want to see if I can get some cryptocurrencies to sponsor me while it's hot right now. That'd be really cool to put some pancake swap on my tights or something like that.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're proud to have him on the show. It's Yordan Lugo. We'll be fighting once again. It'll be April 9th, only on Bellator 256, Bader versus Machida on Showtime. Check your local listings for more details. But stay tuned for more great action here only on It Is Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel.